Okay, so here we are at my next building site, which, in case you can't tell, is going to be a responders one, as I'm done up in my fire breathers outfit. We are here up in the ashy area. Um, Not normally a area that people build in a lot because of the toxic atmosphere and everything, but I wanted to do a responders video, and I know from some other videos I saw online that this has got a nice decent flat area here. They'll make for a pretty good base building. So we're just here just north of AMS testing and just a little bit to the west and south of Hornwright Air Purifier 03. You can use the big old crane here as an identifying marker. So it's almost like we've got an entranceway here and then another one as you come out the back of this little flat area, which is my primary focus. This is more of a rough area and it doesn't go to anything in particular, so I'm going to focus my entranceway in this direction. So I'm going to actually do at least a partial build on this. As you can see, I've already been messing around with some stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I thought I had made a blueprint. Oh, here we are, blueprint. Yay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is the entranceway. This is the method that No Respawns uses for making an entranceway. I quite like it. So be sure to check his channel out because he does all kinds of fun stuff that I steal. So I've made this little template of these three linked together. What we're lining up is the rightmost section. That's going to be our entranceway. So kind of find a decent, you can see the angle gets too much there. So obviously we're going to have an angle no matter what. And we just want to find a good spot to put it like that. So now let's see, if we're coming in this way, we start enough room to put some decorations further out. I'm not super happy with the angle though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just remove this and place it down again using the blueprint and just try and maybe do it from further back. And line that up a bit like that. If it's not perfect, I'll fix it later. So what we do then is we come in. Now, if you see, you can't really scrap that one. But if we go to the middle section, you can remove that and then that. And so you have a nice freestanding, almost gateway. And this works really well for just kind of making a nice entranceway. So now what I want to do, since this is going to be a responders camp, there are no slouches on their defenses. Also, these will allow me to kind of go up or down and level things off. So if I'm having problems leveling walls or anything, you can use these to kind of fix that. And so for instance on this side, if I want to, and I'm going to go around front to try and, so I want to make sure it's settled in. And then we're going to take a look from the front side, see we've got a bit of a gap there. So we just want the there we go. And the same on here. So we kind of want it to align with that top bar a little bit higher. So we're going to take this, come in a little closer, raise up a little bit more. And that's about level. And now it should not have any free floating, a little bit of float there. So let's go ahead and, yep, there we go. Bring it down just enough so that we're not cutting that off. And now I need to fix that a little. Perfect. And so we want to lower this one now to just below that. Want some symmetry. Symmetry is king. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so we've got those front pieces. Then, as far as... this isn't a super secure location. And I may have wanted to have done this beforehand. Nope, it should go in. But we do want a little bit of security here, so we're just gonna back this up as much as possible. A little too floaty. Let's see if we can get that to... I always have problems with raising, oops, and lowering these things. Of course now it wants to... so it's just... and we can just say it's bolted on to the sides there. I may come in and add some poles or something there to kind of hide that floatingness. In fact, let's see if we can do that. Blueprints, floaty poles. Yeah, it looks like we can. So let's try and sandwich this in. It's being a bit fiddly. I may come back and decorate that later, but for now, so if we're coming up on this, looks pretty good. So just a nice simple entranceway. I can always put like some junk items. So that's nice. Alright, back to defenses. The other nice thing with these is that it takes these little perimeter walls. So once again, adding a bit of character to it. And I'm not doing a full decoration on this, but this is a responders, so we at least want to get a couple responders things there to make it look right. Okay, and I also want to use this signs for the responders that I got in the bundle that was just discounted this week. But they don't like to snap into our lovely defense posts. So what we're going to do is make ourselves a little stand-up section. So as an example, it's gonna have a medical wing in it. So you can see these things like to kind of pop out. To adjust this one out a bit. The objective being to not get this to... let's just store it for now. Yeah, the angle on this. If it's angled like that, it's kind of binding to the top one. So we want to make sure that the top one is... there we go. Perfect. See, if we tried to put it on the front of these, it just does not look good. So we have to stick those shelving units to basically give it a flat surface. So 1 and 2, and get a bit closer. Let's just align that. We're not medical on this side. We're going to do trading post. I wish these were freestanding. Let's go ahead and lower this one down a little. There we go. Alright, so it gives us a definite responders looking entranceway. Alright, now for my favorite part, since they added these in. Junk walls. I love junk walls. Junk walls are the best. Junk walls are awesome. And They have vastly improved the collision detection since Fallout 4, so these can get really snugged in there. I mean, look at that. That is just so nice. In fact, I can probably even get a little bit more. Yeah. The important thing is to make sure that we're not getting any kind of free floating, which we're looking good. So over on this side, this one's flat, but I use it for a lot of curves as well, because having the tires on that one end, it's just a lot thicker. It does also mean that sometimes it doesn't like to line up with things, so I think we're going to have to go with a flat one on this side. Back it up to there. And there we go. So what we're going to need to do is kind of, we go down this hill a bit, which is where I've hidden the box for now, but we're going to want to cut across. We're going to come down here, back around, and back up. Trying to make the most of this nice open area. So the objective is to align them without overloading too many of the same looking. This one wants to be a bit of a pain, but there we go. They don't have to be perfect because we can come back and apply stuff, you know, just decorations, but that looks fine. And the metal up on the metal of that one looks really good. So I'm just gonna keep throwing these out, trying to make the most of the space here as we go. This will be the longest, most boring part of this video, simply because no one wants to watch you throw down junk walls. Now, we are getting a little bit of float on that, so we'd like to be able to drop it down a bit. Another thing we could do is always throw in another post here, since that drops. So let's go ahead and try that real quick. So let's store that. And so we can come along here and level off. We want to sink it a bit. It might not like the fact that we're going up against the tires, though. Let's just do it that way. So we're doing a shorter standing one. And it's backed up pretty well. We'll stack something here to kind of go. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Need support. Alright, there we go. That got blended in nicely, but it raised up too high. So this is exactly what we want to avoid. We'll live with that gap for now. We'll come back and put something in it. But see, so that helped level that off now, so that the next section of wall and again we got some metal there, so this metal next to it should look good. Now that's barely perceptibly got a gap there, but so that's perfectly fine. We haven't used one of these here for a bit. We need to make sure we're angling. Just throw another metal one up. This, yeah, it's having a bit of a problem. Doesn't want to align fully. Let's see if we can use a different one real quick. There we go. There we go. Let's see how that looks from the other side. Not very good, so let's see if we can't. That's a bit better. Again, if there's a lot of these gaps, we can easily go back and fix those. Nothing too bad on the bottom there, so let's get the metal one in next. So that one sunk a little bit nicely. Let's see, can we get the outer instead of the inner on this? Yeah, so it looks like we'll have to go on the outer. What we'll do is fill this empty section here with something. And it does need to be angled a bit more. So we got this bump here that we don't want to get too messed up. I really don't want to be in that bush, even though it will disappear, so maybe one more wall, if we can get one. And put up another one of our defenses. Actually, it looks like we may have to do a defense here. Because we got a bit, it'll also let us angle a bit more. Oof, there it is. This one does not want to play nice. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Maybe angle it a bit more. See if that will work. Let's see. It's a little bit. Alright, that's right up against it, so that should be good. And then take our next wall section. That will have to go there. And that took care of our obnoxious plant problem. Does not want to align, so let's try this one. Different ones can be more forgiving at different angles, so it's just playing with them, getting the right one to work. Again, it's junk, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Right there, it kind of sunk into the ground nicely, so. Let's try and get some more of this wooden one. Actually, let's try and angle this one out a bit. There we go. The fun part comes in when we reach the end and see if we can actually get these to align. So this one needs to definitely be able to turn in, which I think our big tire one is always the best for that. Because it's got a couple of different connection points. There we go. So let's see. Floating a little bit, but we can fix that with some stuff. Now, that gap's a little too small, but we can always build up stuff there. So let's see. I think floor decor, is that where it is? This is half the fun, is trying to remember where you put stuff. There we go. So we have this little trailer. Let's see here. I think it should be able to fit. Let's go ahead and store that. And of course it doesn't want to, likes this side a lot better, so let's use that. So that's actually pretty good position. It's not quite floating on that tire. Now, let's go ahead and do back to defenses. And see about putting this wall in here. And it doesn't seem to like that one too terribly much. See, it doesn't want another wooden one either. How about another tire? There we go. See, it's just finding which ones do want to snap. Can probably angle that. Sometimes it's easier just to do this, move it out of the way, and then try and move it back however you're liking to put it. So pretty much the same spot, but so all of this, like for instance this nice little drop here, I'm going to fill it in with some things. With this, what we can do is go over to our handy dandy stash boxes. Stash boxes are the best thing for just throwing random crap on top of stuff. So, for instance, we're gonna stack this and maybe this. Those are attached points, so and then we can come in and maybe stack some actual boxes. Actually, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. These chain tires are great for putting stuff in its place. Shelves. Let's see, I can come in. Orientate this, throw it this way. And then maybe put some more stash boxes. I'm not trying to do a full video of placing objects, but we at least want to get there we go. That just makes our own junk wall. So this gives us all of this room to play with in here. We've got our little defensive area looking out here, there, and in the front. So what I want to do is throw out some tents. So we could do tents and just leave them on this flat ground, but I think they look better when they're kind of flat. And having gone camping with the Boy Scouts, when you have a semi-permanent tent, you do actually have it set up on something like this. So we're going to go ahead and leave the larger tent. Let's use the, let's see, miscellaneous structures. Tents, 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 tents. So the small tent will definitely fit. The big tent still fits. Okay, good. And in fact, let's slide you over a bit. Alright, so this will be our medical tent. So for resources to crafting. All good medical tents should have their own chem station. Then, let's see. What beds do I have? There they are. Always forget. They really should alphabetize some of this. Alright, so let's go with the cots. Those make a bit more sense. Can squeeze more patience in that way. Get this a little closer to the wall. There we are. And then, let's see. Stash boxes. Any of these look good? Actually, do we have a desk? It's hard to remember what I have on all of my various characters. Yes, so this will be for the administrator. And for that we want a chair. Let's see, an appropriate chair. There we are. And then to indicate this as our... Let's see, do we have a... Yeah, these aren't going to snap to this unless I do something. So let's do our shelf spot again. Again, if anything, the top one should be a little further forward. All right. And then we want a little vending station since this is also for trading. Let's see, vendors. I only have the two, so. And let's see, floor decor. I have the other type of sign. So that's exactly what I wanted. Unfortunately, these are all very specific, so I think I'll just leave it like that. Alright, now, I mentioned doing improvements to the outside, so real quick, let's find one that's not super good. And all of these are pretty well done. So like here, this is all kind of bowing out and that's there. So let's see, we've got various floor pieces we can do. So these are fun, especially for an area like this where it's kind of sticking out. We need to fill it in. So we can just add those in there. Just to add a decoration. If you want to do further, you can even throw in some plants, stuff like that. I'm not going to try and make this too colorful though, because I kind of want this to be an actual, you know, this is a military, not your random farmhouse. So let's see, where are my other flags? So much other stuff to go through. There. Here we go. So we have Meat Week, Raider, Settler, Responders. Let's see. So right here, this is very... That section needs to be filled in quite a lot, so we're going to do our floor decor and stack us some tires. So looking at the sizes, that's the biggest. It's really weird. Small, biggest, medium. Makes no sense. It's not organized at all. So put that there. Put at least another large one on top of it. There are variants of this apparently with concrete. I do not have those at this point. Alright, so that kind of fills that gap in. Oh dear, that was entirely not... That's too long. We're going to have to fix that. There we go. So let's slide. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. So, what we need is... I think... Oh, those are the same size. We can just take some of these and stack them in there. Then angle the other way. There we go, much better. And we can always come in here and throw a couple more tires down. Or even, let's see. How close is that getting? That kind of helps a bit. So there, let's see, from the front. Nice. Let's go ahead and throw another one down here. Cool. Now you can also come through, and these walls are great for mounting any kind of wall decor you want. Stuff like that. Since like I said, this is supposed to be a very much more military, so what I'll do is on our overlooks, I will throw these out just to tie it all together. So that's all looking good. One thing I've wanted to do is maybe make a little jail cell, but I think I have enough room to do it right here. So for this, I just need one piece of flooring. Let's want this backed up as much as, then really low to the ground. Yep, that'll do. Then walls. What walls? Okay, so I do have... So do I want to do steel? I like these ones for... yeah, but if I do that, it says the problem, it'll block that off. Let's see how it looks here instead. Maybe a little further. Alright, roof. Okay, so in here. Beds. He's a prisoner. He gets a mattress thrown on the floor. And then... I guess it's actually under appliances, I bet. We're not even going to give him a toilet. He just gets a bathtub to do his slop in. Actually, no, let's just go ahead and do... Yep, so that's that. And then doors. This is the part that actually makes it into a little jail cell. Is you've got to have the jail cell door. And let's see. We haven't done any power yet, but I'm just kind of throwing various lights up. But so, yeah, there's my little jail cell. Can still access these quite well. We've got a vendor station. Let's go ahead and start and just add in some more crafting stations. So we definitely need a Tinker's Workbench. We're going to go with more. There we go. Yeah, put this back in this corner. And then little stew pot there. It's just a little outpost on the edge here. And looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe throw up some more decorations and we will see how this looks. Okay, so we are back. I finished my decorating here. So let's go ahead and take a look. First outside. I didn't do too many changes here. Threw up another flagpole. I've got power lines running now. I put up these floodlights just because they add a little extra. I needed another power source, so I got that running here. But yeah, very basic. Not trying to break it up too much with color because it's functional instead of form. Alright, then as we come through here, we'll see I threw down some containers. It helps to block those hanging bits there. Look a little bit more. I've thrown down some heating elements for the guys to keep them warm. I've dressed my Raider punk up in a Survivor.
Radio network, I'm afraid.
Got his radio here so he can look out and report any problems. I have added sleeping bags in a couple of spots here, assuming that the others would be roughing it as they come through. Safety first sign, threw down porta-john. Since this is supposed to be the jail, we've got a little danger area. Also added a water purifier along with a larger generator. I generally throw down these tubs for catching the water, as I've said before, since they're so valuable. And then not much changed on the interior here. I put up some posters just to kind of align it and shifted things around to fit this shelving unit here. But yeah, otherwise that's it. A pretty basic build, but still a pretty cool little camp. I think it's themed pretty well. And yeah, looking fun. We'll see how the Ash Heap does now that the responders are protecting it.